Sandman.
I found my way through the desert.
There you go. We're all getting back.
We'll just wait on everybody else. It's cool. I mean, we can start the show right now. It's cool.
Sorry about that.
Me and Maz can carry this thing all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, we are recording, so.
Okay, that sounds good.
Apparently nobody else can find their way back.
Yeah, what the heck?
Like I said, me and Maz can take it all the way to the finish line.
Do it. Me and the Sandman.
It won't be hard. We'll just we can do what you're drinking. We'll interview Bill and Mike here shortly. It'll take like 2 minutes. And then from there we'll do the lightning round, which will take even shorter time. Then the discussion will take a while, but
move it right along.
Yeah.
Then we got the rest of the night.
Yeah. So I mean, but that first part's going to be a little shaky, but everything else I think we can handle. The interview in particular will be interesting. I mean, lots of no comments, but
especially if Bill and Mike aren't on.
Right.
I know.
What do you think?
Hey, that's okay. I'm getting to finish up my work tonight. So, hey, get to do that before we start the show. That's always a bonus.
There you go.
MJ, you are like someone organized behind you there.
Yeah, you don't really see everything. It's not really that well organized. Huh, I'm surprised nobody.
I know it.
Phil and Brady and the guys haven't found it.
Yeah, they're taking a time for a bathroom break.
Probably.
Oh, we're live. Hey.
We are live, yeah. Oh. We have 2 viewers. Hi, folks.
Well, heck, in that case, let's carry this thing, Maz. Let's do it right now.
Thanks for finding us.
We're not the 2 viewers, are we?
You are not. No. I might be one of them.
Okay.
That's okay.
Then we get the folks from Germany. I know, yeah.
Here comes Phil.
All right.
There you go.
Did you update YouTube?
YouTube updates itself.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah. Right. But I was going to try to put it on the website, but now I can't make that. That's not working either. So I don't know what's going on today. Gremlins.
Okay. So I'm going to go to YouTube.
Oh, here we go. So, because YouTube sent to everybody who's subscribed, YouTube sent a link that we were live now.
Okay. So do you have to do a new show?
I did a new show, and it has to go on the website, and it has to go on social media if that's where you want it to go. So you have to go to the view page and get the share.
I'm getting it. Yeah. Okay. Because there's 2 shows showing up right now on YouTube.
Are there?
Yeah. The old one is still on there, so we probably need to delete that or.
Okay, I'll see if I can do that because I couldn't stop it. That's the problem. I couldn't. Foul.
MJ, you are underpaid, MJ.
Foul.
I made it.
Hey,
they're back.
Back.
All right, I'm posting this on Twitter.
Okay, I just hope I don't delete the one that's that we're actually in.
50-50.
Here we go.
I see it live now.
Are we still here?
We're still here.
All right, it's gone.
Okay, I'm putting it on Facebook. Publish.
Is it the same link you just tweeted?
No, the one that I just tweeted, yes.
Just now? Okay, I'm going to
But
share
I said it probably should say new tweet or something like that on it.
Hey, we got some people finding us. Hey, thanks everyone for bearing.
All right.
We're playing a little game of cat and mouse tonight. Okay, so new link for tonight's recording live now.
One of the things that kind of sucks about Hangouts.
Posted to Twitter, Facebook, and Twitter.
What? You're doing 2. You do your Santa and your Titans?
Yeah, I have.
What do you use? What do you use to do that?
Hootsuite. I just do that and post all at once. So
sweet. Will that still get the same video or pictures on Facebook and Twitter if you post pictures and video?
We'll talk about it afterwards. I'll answer
Fair
any
enough.
and all questions.
Fair enough. All right.
That's a big maybe.
All right, it's updated on the website too now.
All right. So we should be good. We're as good as we're going to be.
Yeah,
All right. Let's do this.
I'm not ready, but you can start. I'll mute
right.
myself.
All right. I'll start then. You guys ready, gentlemen?
Do it.
I'm ready.
Ladies are gone, so it's all us. Okay. Let's see how we can screw this up. In 3, 2. Welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast on your listening and viewing device. This is the Stormfront Freaks podcast. If you happen to be a first-time listener, thanks for checking us out. Be sure to go to stormfrontfreaks.com to check out our library of previous shows and great guests. But this is episode 45 of season 3.0. And we're actually double dipping tonight. We actually got 2 guests from the Storm Warriors chase team. We're joined by Bill Ford and Mike Prendergast. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be
And
here.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Warriors.
Come out.
Come on.
I was going to drink 3 beers and do that, but I couldn't get 3 down fast.
Classic.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, it's
The movie.
Escape from New York. Great
Yeah.
movie.
Okay. Missed it. Anyway, if you missed it, this is episode 45. And we'll also be discussing if organizations and even storm chasers should do more to equip themselves for assisting after the storm hits. And don't forget to stick around for our hot WX resources and crazy ass weather fools, because maybe someone you know might have made that list. But hey, the best way to always introduce our co-hosts and set the enjoyable, laid-back nature of the show is to show us and find out what everybody is drinking. So we always tell everybody, hey, feel free to join us as long as you're not driving or at work. You're certainly welcome to join us. MJ is our Skywarn spotter coordinator up in Minnesota. What are you drinking tonight, MJ?
Hey, tonight I have Yellow Belly, which is a hard cider that happens to be made and bottled right here in Mora, Minnesota, where I'm from. So
No kidding.
there we go. Yep.
Wow. What else do they make?
Cider.
Okay.
Green belly, purple belly.
Green Belly. Yeah, they make it. They make a couple other flavors, but yeah.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Maz is our former TV meteorologist in Cincinnati. Maz, what do you got?
Only because I had a drinking problem, though, right?
Of course, right.
Actually, tonight I'm going whiskey Coke.
Oh,
So, yeah.
nice.
And I was going to do that. I
That's
was going to
nice.
do the Warriors thing, but, whiskey before beer.
Never.
Beer? I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Why not?
All right. I've got tonight I am drinking. This is a Christmas leftover. It is called the Mad Elf.
Nice.
The Mad Elf is a ale brewed with honey and cherries once a year. So it's a limited edition. And I will sell it right now to the highest bidder because it's a
Made from
limited
made from the sweat of elves.
edition. It is. It must
Wow.
be.
Okay, that must be good.
It must be. I'm trying to
Hollyberries.
see where this is from.
Way up north.
Trogs. Troegs. Troegs. I don't know.
Tregs?
Never heard of it.
Huh.
I'll tell you how it is once I get into it. Chris is our storm chaser in Oklahoma City. What do you got for us tonight?
Sandman.
Okay, I am actually drinking a mixture of items tonight. It's really intense.
Oh,
First off, I have in my Chiefs cup, because I'm still in mourning over that playoff loss, I have a little bit of herbal tea with cinnamon. So doing that. And then also, just to make sure the hydration is complete, I have water infused with vitamins. So there you go, Phil. Once again, I am just
Good
rolling.
job, man.
we got one healthy guy.
Yeah,
Heavy
you're
one.
gonna
Heavy
live
one.
longer than the rest of us. And I just realized we got started without Brady.
Oops.
So
Oh, you're right.
Wow.
Where is he?
we lost Brady. For those of you listening, we had a little connection link problem when we got started tonight, so we had to redo a new link and reconnect a different way, and it looks like we lost someone in the process.
Wait, he always likes to make an entrance.
He probably does. But hey, I know our guests are also joining us tonight. So Bill, where are you and what are you drinking tonight?
So we're in Wichita, or actually Weatherford, Texas, and my fermented drink of the night is a wild blueberry kombucha. So I've actually warmed it up. I've warmed it up, and I put it in this cup, and It's really good.
So what's a kombucha?
Yeah.
So a kombucha is a fermented tea, and so it's got it's got all the makings of a good fermented drink without the alcohol, but it's really good. It's got probiotics, and it's it's good for your
Wow.
digestion and all kinds of good stuff. So it's the drink of champions tonight.
Some people might ask, why would you drink a fermented drink that has no alcohol in it?
Yeah,
But I'm just
exactly.
speaking for other people, I'm sure.
Yeah. What's the point?
Well, that's good. All right, Mike, where are you and what are you drinking this evening?
I am actually drinking the exact opposite of Chris's healthy stuff. I've got a Route 44 vanilla Dr. Pepper from Sonic. So
Yeah,
Fermented.
pure sugar.
Fermented.
opposite of healthy.
Fermented.
Yeah,
But
just
I'm
let
in
it sit for a
Midlothian.
while.
I'm in Midlothian, Texas, just south of Dallas.
South of Dallas.
And
All right,
I won't
well-
brag about our weather here, all you guys up north. Sorry, but it was like 68 today. So
Yeah. Wow.
enjoy it. Sunny.
All right, you better. We know where you live now, so you better be careful. All right, let's. I'm going to turn it over, Sander, to you to go ahead and give our guests a formal introduction.
Okay, I can do that. Tonight's guest on the show is Bill Ford and Mike Prendergast, both of the Storm Warriors Storm Chase team. Mike, I said your last name right, correctly?
Close enough.
Close enough.
Prendergast.
No,
Okay.
that's
good.
Okay, good. Just making sure. It's always been tricky to me, so I see it and it just messes with me. I don't know why. But anyways, continuing on. Bill Ford has been tracking down tornadoes and helping with disaster relief for 3 decades.
Wow.
After witnessing the aftermath of the 1999 Moore tornado, Bill has been stopping and giving assistance to those affected by storms. He was involved in the recovery from Rita, Katrina, and Sandy, as well as many tornado aftermaths in Texas and Oklahoma. Bill believes no one should ever die from a tornado. He helps bring advance warning to communities by bringing ground truth to the National Weather Service and other news media. Bill has also been a part of helping train volunteer firefighters, county sheriffs, and community leaders on how to give advance warning. In addition, helping families, communities, organizations, and schools responsibly through awareness and education through their Nowhere to Go campaign. Born and bred in Texas, Mike first gained a fascination with all things extreme weather when he experienced the power of a Category 3 Hurricane Alicia in 1983 as the eye wall passed over his childhood home. He has been enamored with weather ever since, and in particular, tornadoes. His heart for serving others spills over into storm chasing. While he enjoys seeing the power of the storm, which I agree with 100%, he hates to see communities get ravaged, which I also agree with. After years of asking God why he has this fascination with something that causes so much pain and destruction, God has shown Mike the good in being able to warn others of the impending storm, assist those that need it most, and help restore those communities affected. So, guys, the first question in these segments is always very simple. Why weather? What about weather caught your eye? Mike, you go first.
I think just the nature of how quick stuff can change. I mean, it could go from sunny blue skies to a tornado in a matter of minutes sometimes, especially here in Texas and Oklahoma. And just seeing just the fluidity of everything moving, and then just the fact that just basically air and water can combine to create such beautiful storms. And it's always been a fascination of mine since a kid, but just seeing it up close and personal, I think is just sort of added to that.
What about you, Bill?
So it was the power, the fear, the captivation. My first storm in Wichita, Kansas, I saw a tower blow up, and I was fascinated, and I drove out. I thought it was going to take me 30 minutes to get out there. It took me an hour and a half to get underneath the mezzo, and I sat there, and I just was overwhelmed. I was captivated by the power, and at the same time, I was fearful. But when you get drawn into a storm, when you chase weather, you're drawn to this, and I was drawn to it. And I didn't know why for a long time, and like Mike, I was asking a lot of questions along the way because I saw a lot of devastation and wanted to do something about it.
3 decades.
Yeah, a long time. Yeah.
You're like 35 though. How is that even?
Oh, thank you. That's good. Yeah. So my wife would tell you that I romanced her under the rotation. So when you guys were taking your wives out on typical dates, my wife was with me storm chasing as I courted her.
So, Bill,
That's a cheap date.
what's your background, Bill, that's got you still storm chasing. I mean, what's your background as from a weather standpoint? How did you teach yourself to do that?
So I chased, and Danielle will tell you, my wife would tell you that I was really an idiot because I had no technology, I had no training, and I just drove out underneath storms. And I learned a lot just by observation. And so, in fact, even today, I would prefer to get out of the truck and feel what the storm's telling me as opposed to looking at the radar. And so I learned that way. And so why? I just when there was a storm and I knew it was going to blow up, I just wanted to be out there, and I couldn't tell you why for a very long time.
Bill's been doing it so long that he actually used to take dirt and pour it out and watch to see where the tornado's going to be.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Is that what did that back in the day?
Mike, what about you, Mike? Where did you get your? How'd you teach yourself on chasing and weather?
Mostly by accident. Just loved it so much that I wanted to do it. And I work in radio, and a guy, some of y'all may know Jeff Tyler. He was a radio producer and had rented his show he was producing, had rented space in our studio. And one April day, I see him pull up and he's got all this stuff on his car. And I'm like, oh, dude, he's a storm chaser. I got to go talk to him. So I went and introduced myself and invited myself out on a chase, and went and was like, all right, this is what I'm doing. This is fun. But always loved weather. I went to school for weather and then ended up falling into radio instead. But I've never lost that passion for it.
How long was that first chase?
Not long. I think we left like after work one afternoon and we were gone. This would have been, we went out to East Texas. So we were home that evening. So probably 5 or 6 hours.
So it's not like, hey, I'm going to come ride in the car with you 3 weeks later.
Yeah. 3 weeks later. It's like, you really need to leave.
So what started your passion, Bill, specifically for combining now, and you could talk a little bit about the rescue mission that you guys have, but what started that passion to start combining chasing with the aftermath and helping people afterwards?
So again, going back to the Oklahoma City or Moore, Oklahoma tornado, I was devastated coming back from that chase. I got caught in the debris of that community, and I couldn't get out of there because there was so much debris. And I just began to see something that I never saw before in a chase. I began to see people that were hurt, and they were covered in mud and they were covered in blood. And I drove back to Texas, and literally I cried, all the way home. And I got home and I said, I'll never do it this way again. So something touched me. There was a compassion for these people that their lives were, turned upside down in a matter of moments. And when these people were looking at me as I was trying to get out of there, they were saying, are you going to stop and help? And, I had no tools, no training, no equipment. And I really felt so inadequate that I just kept thinking about, I want to do this different. I don't know what it looks like, but I want to do this different. And so over time, we came up with the acronym, what we call now the Warn, Assist, Restore, which is WAR, where Storm Warriors came from. We wanted to, warn communities first, because we believe that, we can save more lives if we can get the warning out to people and they can get to their safe place sooner, know where to go, and then assist them in the event that there is a disaster. Then we can, we'll talk about deployment at some point, I'm sure. We could, stop and help and render aid to these families. And then, the other thing about what we do, which is really the place where I probably am more fulfilled, is really in the restoration side. And we really want to bring a message of hope to families, because, after the IC closes down and FEMA's gone and Red Cross is gone, these family storms have really just begun. And so, I want to be back there and helping these families, start a restoration process, because their lives have been significantly changed, and they're asking the question, where's the hope?
Where do you even begin with the rest? I mean, you're like, it's got to be super overwhelming, and you're like, where do you start?
Yeah, you start with one family at a time. And, the first thing that we did was in Katrina, we just actually gathered supplies and sent them down to the affected areas. But it was actually Rita where we took several teams down and went through Orange County and up into Louisiana and worked through the communities. And, we're checking into the ICs and got, our assignments. And really it was the people along the way that had a huge impact on all of us. And so, we know that we can't touch them all, but the ones that we do touch, and the communities that come together because we are there, we're feeding them, and we're giving them the things that they need because they have nothing. It's those moments, it's those, 10, 15, 100 people that come together because you're there doing something that they need.
Yeah. Mike, how did you get hooked up with Bill? How did this whole connection start?
Mutual friends. And so it's just through social media, one of us seeing one another, both of us are really strong in our faith. So seeing that, how we play that out on the chaser community, out in the field, on social media, we had this kind of connection. And me, Bill, and Mike Casey, kind of just naturally came together. So I've known Bill about 4 years, maybe.
Yeah. So Mike was the guy that we always, found on the corner of some community. He was out chasing, and we just got to know each other, and we got to share, our dreams and our visions for, what this looked like. And then he, started joining us in the truck, and really had, you guys all know this, that, when you're chasing with somebody, you got somebody navigating, you got somebody looking at radar, and, you got to trust these guys, with your life. And Mike was a guy that we trusted and really, enjoyed his, personality. So it's the Mike and Mike comedy show in the storm truck. It's a lot of fun, and these guys are really a lot of fun. But his heart and our heart was really, came together, really for the people.
Yeah, that's really cool. So talk about. There's been a couple of disasters in the past year. Have you guys had any hands in recovery efforts there, like Harvey or Irma or anything like that?
Yeah, let me give you a couple of. So we actually took 9 tractor trailer full of supplies down to Houston, Beaumont, and to the coast, and we've taken several teams as well. And so we've done everything from the initial restoration, taking the immediate needs. Especially hurricanes, every hurricane has cycles, and so the needs for what what people need, we have to adjust as these needs get fulfilled. So towards the end, and we're still helping some families, but towards the end, we're just clearing houses and dealing with mold, and helping families with sheetrock, and it takes teams to do that. So the volunteers are really important, for us to go down and bring this hope.
Yeah. How did you learn to do sheetrock and deal with mold? I mean, is that just self-taught over years? Yeah.
I've learned from some people that have been doing disaster relief for a long time, disaster recovery. And so, I've just been a sponge for that information, and coupled myself with people that are out there doing it. Nobody, has all the answers and can provide all the assistance to all the need that's out there. So you really got to, kind of lock yourself in with people that are doing this well, and that are making a difference, and you learn a lot from people. So that's what we've done.
Yeah.
You guys chase a lot together? I mean, how often are you guys together chasing?
We're out quite often. I mean, we were out just this last weekend here in East Texas, and sometimes we're all together in the truck. Other times I may be kind of more of an advanced team in my own vehicle, which is already full of hail dents, so it's okay if I get in there sometimes a little too close. But
that's what the rental's for.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But so we're out. Really, most of our chases we're together. So dozens of times a year.
The real question is, who gets to decide where to eat? That's the real question.
The driver.
Usually whoever's dying.
Yeah. Whoever's dying. Again, the driver.
Yeah.
So where do you guys get on the assist and is it restore? Is that the R?
Yeah.
On the assistant restore, where do you guys get the supplies, the volunteers? Do you hook up with other agencies? I mean, how does that all? What's the logistics of it?
Well, for a long time, we have funded this out of our pockets, and we started, after the Moore, Oklahoma tornado. Again, I didn't know what I was doing, but I started throwing chainsaws in the back of our Honda Accord, and first aid kits that you'd buy at Walmart, and just whatever we could get our hands on, we'd start throwing it in there. And over time, we were able to equip a truck that has AEDs. It's got medical equipment in there. It's got search and rescue gear, and everything that we need to be able to stop and help and render aid to people, along with the training. And we also carry a lot of roadside assistance tools, because we find a lot of people alongside the road that are they're broke down, they're stuck in the ditch, and they need help. There's a storm coming, and so we're just trying to be prepared. So over time, we have done that. Now, what's been really interesting is there's been an evolution because, as Mike said, this has become more of a ministry. So more people are wanting to come alongside us and join in the efforts. And so there has been people that have been, giving to the restoration. And it's not just, so when I say we took 9 tractor trailer full of supplies down to these areas, it was because of the donations and the generosity of so many people. And they gave financially as well, because, a lot of people aren't going to go, but they want to give. And so they're looking for, that organization that they can give to help support, in the relief effort. So, we're evolving, just like, any organization does.
Okay.
So Bill, you obviously, both you and Mike, you've talked about the strong faith that you have. Just tell me a little bit, how are you bringing, along with that restoration and repair, are you bringing a message to people in the process, or just through the giving that's your goal?
No, the centerpiece of everything we do is really what we call the message of hope. And, what we find time and time again is these communities are trying to pick up the pieces of their life. And they're asking the question, I don't know where to begin. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to call. I mean, they don't have the list. Nobody's given them the list of, the things to do next. So they're trying to figure this out. And so what we really try to help them understand is that, there is hope, and that hope is really the foundation of looking forward to, the end. In other words, the restoration process is not to have you restored back to where you were, but it's to have you restored to where you were always meant to be. So we get them focused off of the storm and get them focused on the hope of that there's a better day, and there's going to be restoration that you don't understand today, but it's going to be better than the situation that you're in today. And so we help them focus on that. And so, we pray with people a lot wherever we go. And, there are, 48 or whatever it is, we gather people up and we pray, and we just start talking about hope and just giving them encouragement. And so many families have responded to that because, at that moment, they're hopeless.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a question. I'm sorry. Hey, Mike. So if you are, when you get to a location, I know you're like, well, somebody drives, somebody does this. When you get to a location, do you guys both kind of know these are my tasks, these are your tasks? You kind of go your different ways, or how do y'all do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So like each of us on the team have our own deal. Bill's the driving, Mike's navigating. I'm in the back. I'm either navigating or I'm talking to the weather service or doing social media, whatever that is. And then when we get on site, it's like, okay, where is the need? Bill may grab a chainsaw while Mike and I go and knock on doors and see if people need help. So Bill's wife Danielle will also come as well, and so she may go and try to counsel some people then or something. So it's kind of, I guess it's just whatever we come across is what we'll we're going to respond to.
Never the same.
But yeah.
Was Danielle, was she like right on board right away? I mean, is it something where, because I could totally see that. I mean, as a woman, she's like, I'm sure she sees the need, but to begin with, you're like, you want me to do what?
Yeah. She would say that she was sucked into this whole tornado chasing things from the very beginning.
No pun intended, right?
But yeah, she has a heart for people, and it's just again, it's our mission. And so what's really interesting is that, these moms who are trying to protect their kids have found themselves in a situation that, they're trying to figure out how to take the next steps. Danielle is really good at just, getting these moms together and talking to them and praying with them and giving them hope. And, what's the most amazing thing about what we do, and this is crazy, is the relationships we've built along the way, from families we meet in small town America to, families. One of my favorite tornado stories is, really what happened last year in Canton and Emory. We met some amazing people, through that whole ordeal. And they're still great friends today. And so, we really celebrate those relationships. And Danielle's really good at bringing those people together.
I was trying to unmute myself. My goodness. So guys, we have a lot of really positive feedback. A lot of people are really fired up about what you are up to. And, a couple have asked how they can help out. So I'm sure there's going to be people listening to us on the podcast later, etc. how can people join you guys and help out in this?
So the first thing I would say is go to our webpage, stormwarriors.tv, and learn more about what we do. Follow us on Facebook at Storm Warriors TV, and there's actually our nonprofit organization is called the Warriors Heart, and on our website, people can go to the Warriors Heart and actually fill out an application that tells us that they want to help. And so we need people. We need people more than we need supplies, because it's really the people connecting with other people that really makes the biggest difference. So, and so when we, get to know people wherever they're at regionally, and again, you all know that we don't know where the next disaster is going to strike. So, we need people in different regions that can respond and help and be part of the coordinated effort. And again, it's really, it's somewhat about cleaning up debris in streets, but it's really about, being there for the people, talking to the people, and helping the people through, the events that they've been through, and getting to know them. And we feed a lot of people along the way. We're prepared for that as well. But that's how they get to know us and connect with us.
So if they want to donate chainsaws and Bibles, they go to your website.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Message me, and I've got a dream list as well, so I can post that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, and I really do. I love what you guys are doing, and I think that's great for anybody that's got a strong faith background and love weather and love storms. Kind of a great place to put some focus and their skills and their talents and all that kind of stuff. I think that's great. A couple questions about the Storm Warriors, and either one of you can ask this. My question first off is, what's the TV aspect of your brand? When I first saw it, I thought maybe this was a show on TV, or this was what's that TV aspect? What are you guys looking to do there?
So we never know what God's up to, but in 2016, the brand Storm Warriors was birthed really because of some friends that are around us that thought that, man, there's a crazy family chasing crazy storms, doing crazy stuff. This ought to be a show, right? And it began partially about tornadoes and tornado chasing. But, we learned over just a very few months as they shot the pilot for a potential show that, this is really more about the stories of the people that we meet. It's fascinating, when you meet people and you get to hear about their storm stories, not just what happened to them in the physical, but what they're going through also in the spiritual or the relational or whatever it is. And so, so they've shot a pilot, and, they're out there marketing the pilot, and
got it.
We'll see where that goes.
Do you think any of the stories will also be like follow up year later, too late? So do you guys get the opportunity to follow up with folks?
Yes. We, in fact, a lot of people that follow us are people that we've met in many communities. They know us, and because we've been there when they needed us. And so a lot of those people follow us. And so we go back to those communities, and, we'll go to a Dairy Queen or whatever, and, meet some of the people there, or we stay in touch. We're on the phone. Danielle's on the phone with people every day that we've met, really in the last 5 years. And, and our daughter, Corey, who, she's 18 years old, but very mature in her age. And she's met a lot of people, kids from, 16 to 25 that kind of follow her. Because she's in that, that age group, and
those millennials.
Yes, yeah.
I'll tell you.
Gosh darn millennials!
They're just a few years ahead of that.
Come on now.
So you guys got. Here's my point. You guys got a very sharp looking brand.
Thank you.
That you've created. So is that, you talked a little bit about this earlier, Bill, but is that a self-finance project, or have you guys gotten some grants or corporate help in creating the brand and the truck and all this stuff you guys have?
Yeah, so we have, we have some people around us that really believe in what we're doing, and they want to support that. And they think, really to support the ministry side, the restoration side, is to, use a show potentially to create an economic engine, to fund, for years, and to grow the organization, to really help more people. And, it takes, it just takes resources. And so that's the dream, is to create those economics.
And I may have missed this. Who's doing your pilot?
So there's a guy out of South Carolina. He has shot the pilot. This guy's name is Russell Lake. And Russell is, he's been involved in the media world for a long time. And so, He's actually the guy that's out there, meeting with the different media organizations and having those conversations. And so we've gotten some traction, but it's a chicken and egg thing. So, people say, we want to invest as soon as you get it on a network, and networks say, we want to put it on the network as soon as you've got 8 to 13 episodes. So,
right.
So we're kind of right there in that, trying to get that, funded or picked up, either one.
There's so many diverse places that you can go. I mean, I can even see there's a segment on the 700 Club. I can see Weather Channel. I mean, I can see a whole bunch. And then just by getting your name out there, it becomes, self-fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so we're just waiting for that, wherever that opportunity, comes from. We're just waiting.
That's cool.
Well, I'd watch. I'd watch.
And being on Stormfront Freaks podcast, it's going to open you up to
4,
maybe 5.
tens of people.
Tens of people.
So I can go tonight resting that if this is already funded, then right.
That's right.
Yeah, but where's my check? I thought my check was coming in the mail. Right.
So when are we going to get to see this?
Yeah, we got to wait. That's their point, right? We got to wait till someone's willing to invest into it.
So we have a pilot, and I'd love to send you the pilot and let you guys
I'd love that.
So
that'd be really cool.
When we did the release of the pilot, we had about 250 people show up for it, and they laughed when they were supposed to laugh. They cried when they were supposed to cry. And, they all wanted more. And so really,
there we go.
It was good.
Ours is the opposite on our show. So,
so
Cry when they're supposed to laugh.
That's true. All right, last question, Mike. I'm going to ask you now, in your experience now working Storm Warriors with the whole chasing and the kind of recovery aspect. Tell me, in your experience so far, what's the worst scene that you've seen and the best recovery story you've come across?
Oh goodness, I think April, was it 2014, Bill, or 2015 Mayflower tornado?
Yeah.
We were actually on it before it went into Mayflower through a little town called Perrin, and we pulled off of it then just because of all the devastation there. So just seeing that, saw a guy come out of his house all bloodied. Was just being there. Fortunately, I was not in Moore on the 20th. I was about an hour and a half south of there in 2013. So I haven't seen the EF5 dam. I really, honestly, I'm a storm chaser. I don't want to see one. I seriously do not want to see one.
Right.
But that was probably the most devastating. And then the other part of your question was
maybe the best recovery story that you've seen?
I think when we went down to Rockport after Hurricane Harvey on the Texas coast, just seeing this community that more or less, I don't want to say they were forgotten in the media, but they kind of were forgotten because of Houston, because of all the issues that Houston had.
Yeah.
And just being down there and seeing how the people responded to you coming to help. And we were able to help a really kind woman who had a small RV park that was completely decimated, to clear out several of her spaces and help her clear out her house as well, so that she could start getting people back in there. And actually FEMA rented her trailer park, so she was able to start getting some money again.
Oh, no way. Wow.
Nice. Well, tell us, obviously you mentioned how people can help out. Where can people
People are jumping back and forth. Anybody hear me?
There
I'm
you
back.
go. I'm here.
Okay.
Echo.
Hey, it
Must
looks
have
like
been quite a question.
it happened.
I kicked everyone off so I could tell everyone about my
stopped
Twitter account. So
That was weird. All right, let me ask that question again.
Yeah, you were like, "What's the winning lottery numbers?" They are, and then
All right, Bill, tell us how people can follow you guys, your social media accounts, and things like that.
Yeah, real quick. Facebook. A lot of people like to follow us on Facebook because we do a lot of Facebook Lives and do a lot of warning there, and we do some cool, funny stuff too. And they get to know the team and the family. And so we also post when we do live streaming. So we have we call them the groupies that follow us on our live streaming, which is pretty cool. And then the website stormwarriors.tv. They can go there and see a lot of cool videos, pictures, and so on. So. Or you can call Mike on his personal cell phone number, which is No.
Mute.
He's going there. He's going there. Hey, Mike, what does that say above your doorway? I can't read it from here.
As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Samuel, baby.
There you go.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
All right. Well, hey, it's time for our lightning round. This is our game show of shocking questions for our guests.
Gosh.
Not always shocking, but it's always fun. We always invite everybody to play along. And tonight, we're going to play what we're calling head-to-head and match the freaks. So it's kind of two names to it, but here's the goal. We're going to pit Mike against Bill. So it's head-to-head.
You're going down, Bill.
Yeah, and so here's and we're going to keep track of points. I don't know how we'll keep track, but we'll figure this out as we go along. And your goal is to not only get the correct answer, but then also match as many of the freak co-hosts as that you can. Okay. Wow. So the co-hosts, it's up to them to write down what they think the answer is, and then they'll show and share what that is. We'll see what we can match. So here's
don't choose me because I said Samuel. It's really Joshua. So
well, you guys are all
I agreed with you. So yeah, who knows what I'm going to do here?
all of you have to do this. So here's what we're doing. This is I'm going to ask you guys. This is from Thrillist.com, their most iconic restaurants in every state. So we're going to take Tornado Alley.
Okay.
All right. And I'm calling Tornado Alley. I think you got to identify what Tornado Alley is because everybody says something different. So here are the 8 states.
The answer's going to be all subs in all of them.
Here are the 8 states: Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, Colorado, Nebraska, Illinois, and Iowa. Those are the 8 states. So here's I'm going to start it off. I'm going to tell you the restaurant, the most iconic restaurant in this state, and then it's up to you to tell me what state this restaurant is in. All right. Okay. And you guys talked about you're feeding people all the time, so you should get this right.
Not in restaurant.
Right. So here we go. First one, I'm going to tell you what it is, and I'm going to tell you what their specialty is. The freaks will have a quick little bit of time to write down the state they think it's at, and then I'll go to Bill and go to Mike. You can tell me what you think it is, okay? So restaurant number 1, it's called the Buckhorn Exchange, and they specialize in giant portions of steak and other wild game. All right, so we got to figure out what state this is. So, co-hosts, go ahead and write down what you think your answer might be.
And it's from Texas to Nebraska, you said?
Yeah, Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, Colorado, Nebraska, Illinois, or Iowa.
What's the name of the place again?
So basically, just think Tornado Alley. It's Buckhorn Exchange. Giant portions of steak and other wild game. Bill, I'm going to start with you. What state do you think it's in?
So I think it's Nebraska.
Nebraska. Okay. And Mike, what do you say?
I was going to say Nebraska, but I'll say, to be different, I'll say Colorado.
Colorado. Okay. The correct answer is Colorado. So Mike, you start off with a point, right, and let's see if you match anybody. So go ahead. I'm going to start, Brady, with you. What'd you pick?
Iowa.
You'd be wrong. All right, Sander.
Got some good steak.
What you got?
What's it
say?
He's got Colorado.
So that's a match. So 2 points for Mike. Maz?
I went Kansas.
Kansas, that would be incorrect. And MJ, what'd you pick?
I'm not playing because I'm trying to get the video.
All right, so we got 3.
-1.
Colorado, I picked.
-1 for MJ.
All right, so Mike's got 2. Next restaurant, it's called Gene and Jude's. Gene and Jude's, their specialty is hot dogs piled high. We got to figure out what Tornado Alley state that might be in. So co-hosts, go ahead and write down what you think.
Can imagine having that and then an 8-hour drive afterwards. That'd be miserable.
Gene and Jude's, hot dogs piled high. Let's go ahead, Mike. We're going to start with you this time. What state do you think that's in?
I'll say Iowa.
He's going to say Iowa. And Bill?
South Dakota.
South Dakota. I'll give you a heads up. South Dakota was not one of the states, so I'll let you pick another one.
-10.
Wrong.
Yeah. Ouch. Gosh, Kansas.
Kansas. Okay. Well, both of you would be wrong. It's actually in River Grove, Illinois. So you got to think Chicago style hot dogs.
I was going to say, Chicago.
A little bit like that, but so we're going to bypass that because no one matched. We're going to go to the third one. It's called Northwestern Steakhouse. Now, here's the thing. You're in Tornado Alley, and a lot of these places are steak places, but surprising, right? Northwestern Steakhouse, but here's their specialty. It's Greek-style steaks. Greek-style steaks. Now, honestly, I don't think that's going to give away what state it is.
What does that
is
mean?
unique.
What's a Greek-style steak?
Northwestern Steakhouse. Think about it. Co-host, write it down. What state in Tornado Alley do you think that's from? Again, we got Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, Colorado, Nebraska, Illinois, or Iowa. And we're going to go ahead. Bill, I'm going to start with you. Northwestern Steakhouse, famous for their Greek-style steaks. Where's that at?
Iowa.
He's going to say Iowa. Mike, what do you say?
I'll say Nebraska.
He's going to say Nebraska. The correct answer is Iowa. Bill, you are correct.
Oh,
So Bill's got a point. Let's check out our matches. I'm going to go Santa. I'm going to start with you. What'd you pick?
I picked Iowa, but I don't know, and I really wrote that on the last one, but I'm too lazy to write another state, so it's definitely Iowa.
I don't get it.
Collusion.
Iowa.
Okay.
Just trust me.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give it to you. So that's another point for Bill. Maz, what'd you pick?
I think Iowa is what he's doing, but
I would agree.
You know,
I would agree.
I said Missouri, but
Missouri, and that would be incorrect. And Brady, will finish with you. What'd you have?
Iowa.
Yay. Come on.
Very good. All right. 3. So Bill's leading 3-2. Going to the next one. It's called the Cozy Inn. The Cozy Inn is famous for their sliders. Their sliders. So we got to figure out what state the Cozy Inn might be in. They are famous for their sliders. It is not White Castle. It is the Cozy Inn. And let's do this. Let's go. We're going to go with Mike first. What state is the Cozy Inn?
I'll try Nebraska again.
He's going to say Nebraska. Okay. And I'm going to go next to Bill. Bill, what would you say?
The great state of Kansas.
He's going to say Kansas. And the correct answer is Kansas.
Yeah.
Bill's got another one.
I think he's Googling it.
I'm going to go. Cheater. I'm going to go to Maz. Maz, what'd you pick? See if you match.
Kansas.
There's a match.
Wow.
All right, Brady.
Texas.
No, it's not Texas.
Sorry.
And Sander's cheating already. I can tell. He's
No,
writing
It
something
definitely
down.
is.
No, I had Oklahoma, but I said not Oklahoma.
No,
So
okay.
the answer's not valid.
Is it Lexus? Is that
Is
what
it
you
Iowa?
Oklahoma?
All right, next one. So Bill's leading 5-2. Next one is called Arthur Bryant's. Arthur Bryant's is famous for their slow-cooked barbecue.
Arthur Bryant's.
Yeah,
Oh.
cheater.
Guys, I know where this is at. It's amazing. It's the
you
best.
guys are supposed to be strong in faith. So let's keep this fair, right? So Arthur Bryant's famous for their slow-cooked barbecue. Bill, I'm going to go to you this time. What do you say?
Yeah, so it's got to be Nebraska.
He's going to say Nebraska. And what do you say, Mike?
I'll say Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Correct answer is Missouri. They're in Kansas City, Missouri. So neither one of you get a point. We're going to move on to the next one, which is the Drover Restaurant and Lounge. The Drover Restaurant and Lounge is famous for their whiskey steaks. Famous for their whiskey steaks. Mike, let's start with you. What state is the Drover Restaurant and Lounge?
Texas.
I'm going to say Texas. And Bill, what do you say?
Iowa.
I'm going to say Iowa. Correct answer is Nebraska. It's in Maz's backyard, right? Omaha, Nebraska.
Maz.
Omaha, Maz.
Did
The
you get
Drover.
this right? You better have got this right, Maz.
I don't even know where that is. I mean, I'm from Omaha.
Nebraska?
Oh my gosh.
I put Oklahoma. I don't know.
We just lost all of our Nebraska listeners
Oh man,
on that one. All right, last two. We got two left. Next one is Cattleman's Steakhouse. The Cattleman's Steakhouse is famous for their ribeye steaks for dinner and breakfast. You can go have steak for breakfast if you'd like. Cattleman's Steakhouse, and I'm going to.
Are there repeats? Repeat states?
No. These are all one. It's the most iconic restaurant in the state, as reported by Thrillist, not by me. All right. So Cattleman's Steakhouse. I forgot who I started with. So Mike, I'll go with you first.
We'll try Texas again.
I said Texas. God, you live in Texas. Okay.
I know. I
Bill?
thought the Drover was there. Who knows?
So it's in the great state of Amarillo.
I'm not familiar with that state. So are you saying Texas?
Yes.
He's saying Texas. Okay. Correct answer is Oklahoma. That apparently is in
So it's
Oklahoma
North
City,
Texas.
Oklahoma. Santa, what'd you say on that one, by the way?
I said Oklahoma, and I said it's way overrated. It's not actually that good.
Okay.
There's way better steakhouses in Oklahoma
That was our
City.
sponsor. Thanks.
That's right. I can
We're gonna get
bypass
free
that
steak,
plug.
but no, yeah.
So,
All right, last one. It's called Salt Lick. Salt Lick, famous for their smoking pit brisket. This is Salt Lick is the name of the restaurant.
Phil,
And
isn't there
this
only
is-
one option left?
There is only one option left.
Only one state left.
So, Bill, I'm
But
going to
can you remember which one?
Bill,
So Texas.
Yeah.
you're going to say Texas. Okay, Mike, what do you say?
My
I'm gonna go out on a ledge here, and I'm gonna call a friend. I'll say Texas.
friends.
And he's
Yeah,
going to say
I know.
Texas.
Not
The
anymore.
correct answer is Texas.
Hey!
The Salt Lick is in Driftwood, Texas. You both get a point. Let's go down the Brady. What'd you have?
I lost it. Just Texas.
Yeah, Texas. So you
Yeah.
both get a point. Sander, what'd you say? He
I
drew
said-
Texas. All right. And
I could
Matt,
say
what'd you
something.
Texas.
All right. So by my calculations, Bill wins 9-6. 9-6.
Nice.
Yay.
Good job, Mike, letting Bill win. I saw what
Yeah.
you did. Well
Bill,
done.
you know what you get? You get
Gotta
this
re-
scary cat with the sombrero. That's what you
Oh my
You
God.
had your cat stuffed?
Not a cat.
Put that on the dash of my truck.
Oh,
Yay.
who stuffs a cat?
That
It's
is
not.
scary.
This isn't a stuffed cat. It's a fake cat. It isn't a real cat.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for playing along with us, guys. That was fun. We're going to go ahead and take our first break. Our podcast listeners get to hear the latest edition of the Titans U Minute with Chris Sanner. But stay right here. We'll be back to discuss if organizations and chasers should do more, like Bill and Mike have, to equip themselves to deal with recovery efforts after the storm. All right. So we'll take a really quick break because
Thank
we're
God for this break.
Really?
The technology
even
is not
guessing
working.
answers.
It's not working today.
You weren't even guessing answers.
Damn.
Okay, so I've got two things. Mike, first thing for you is, have you heard of the band Carrollton?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Lead
William R.
singer,
Station.
that's great. Lead singer Justin Mosteller used to be our worship pastor at our church.
Oh, very
so
cool. Yeah.
I wanted to make sure you were aware of those guys because
He's
they
on
got
line
some
3,
good
right?
stuff.
Yeah.
No, he's not,
We have
but-
lines.
Good. All right.
tonight.
Second thing,
Lyle.
all right.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
Second thing I need you guys to do a quick plug for us. I'm going to have, here's how we're going to do it. Bill, I'm going to have you say, this is Bill Ford. And then Mike, you get to say, and Mike Prendergast of the Storm
Did I
Warriors.
pronounce it wrong?
Say your name.
Yeah.
But
Insert
don't
name
say
here.
your name.
Say your name.
So you're going to say, this is Bill Ford. Mike, you're going to say, and Mike Prendergast of Storm Warriors. And then Bill, you're going to come back and say, and you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Got it. Got
That
it.
sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll count you in 3, 2.
I'm Bill Ford,
This is Mike Prendergast of Storm Warriors.
and you're listening to the Storm Front Freaks.
Podcast.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, I think it's fine.
It was
That's
good.
That's good.
Oh
We
my
gotta-
gosh.
Let's redo it. No, let's redo it. Redo
Mr.
it.
Polly Perfect over here.
We
I'm
do
going
it.
to flip you off, Brady. Be careful. All right. We'll try one more time. 3, 2.
I'm Bill Ford,
And I'm Mike Prendergast of Storm Warriors.
and you're listening to the Storm Front Freaks podcast.
Hey guys, did I miss anything?
Perfect.
Oh my gosh. This man.
All right, good. All right, so here's what we'll do. We'll come back. I'll introduce basically what we're talking about, which is basically and we're talking not only storm chasers, but to me, we're talking other meteorologists that might be out chasing storms. We're talking power company employees, county highway workers that are coming across families that might need help, right? And talking about should there be better training to help them do that? Or the other side of it too is going, hey, there's legal issues. If I work for a power company and I'm out there to try and repair power, and I see someone hurt, and I'm acting on behalf of the power company, legally can I help? Should I help? Or is that creating possible litigation for not only me, but the power company I'm working for, which might be an issue for them. So just kind of talking about all those different sides and what we should do. So, it's a free for all. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you drop out but then come back? Because I think it's your video that's not doing the switching, and it's a pain. It's a
Who does drop out?
We get Phil to drop out because
Phil, we're replacing Phil. That's what
he wasn't
Phil
in the
2.0. Phil's
Meow
2.0.
Mix. Replacing Bill with Meow Mix.
Yeah, we voted him off the island. All right, he's back. Talk.
Oh, dang it, Phil.
What, you didn't want me to come back?
No, we were just talking about how we were going to replace you with Meow Mix.
It didn't matter. It didn't work, but oh well. I'll just keep switching them. So I'm out tonight. I won't be participating anymore.
Okay. All right. So, and just Mike and Bill, so you guys know, it's always a free for all here. So if you got something to say, you just got to speak up, and the louder person.
Yeah, I kind of do. So, yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. Let's do this in 3, 2. All right. Welcome back, everybody. You know, after talking with Bill and Mike, it certainly would make sense for every storm chaser, scientist, power company employee, and county highway worker that's in the vicinity of storm damage, that they should all be trained to be able to help when they come across that. And I think I would hope that everybody would want to help a fellow human being, but sometimes there's that scenario of if there's no training, someone could actually cause more harm if they really don't know what they're doing or they act too soon. So let me point that out a little bit. And Bill, I know you've got some things to say about that. What's your thought on the general nature of how everybody should act when they work or are in and around storms and the damage that causes?
So a couple thoughts. One is I think that everybody needs to follow their heart. You know, if they're out there storm chasing and getting videos and pictures and all that, I mean, that's great. That's wonderful. The other side of that is, you know, I really feel like, or we feel like, is that, you know, all of us are really the first responder. In other words, we never know when there's going to be an accident or there's going to be a disaster or something's going to happen where, you know, with some training, and it doesn't take a lot of training, but with some training, we can save somebody's life. And so, you know, I think we all need to prepare ourselves for a situation like that. So we always talk about, we train, you know, first of all, keep yourself safe, because if you're safe, then you can help somebody else in their greatest time of need. So we encourage people to get trained, if it's just basic CPR, you know, AED, first aid, or whatever that is. And then the second thing, obviously, in a disaster is, you know, you got to know your surroundings. You got to know how to work through a disaster situation. You just can't get out of the truck, you know, and go walk into a disaster environment without some level of training. And there's a lot of places to go get that training. The other thing I would say is that a lot of people do worry about litigation. They worry about, you know, well, you know, somebody's going to sue me if I go help. But every state, and most of these states are reciprocal, have good Samaritan laws that prevent you from being sued because you went and did the right thing. So doing the right thing for the right reasons and helping somebody, you do have some protection over that. And so, you know, everybody just needs to, you know that and rest in that, because, you know, we've seen situations where emergency management personnel, you know, they can't because they can't get there or whatever. You know, they didn't show up for 45 minutes to an hour later. And so, you know, somebody needs to, you know, render aid.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have first aid experience or aren't trained in that, you have a phone. You can call 911. You can sit with the person. You can try to comfort them. You can do what you can. But yeah, it's just like Bill said. I think I almost think it's our obligation to at least have the minimum amount of training so that we can help somebody, because most of the time you're going to be the first person there if you're chasing the storm.
Yeah. So what do you guys think is stopping people from getting that training? Do you think it's just lack of knowledge that they can get this training, or like what's stopping people from going out and getting this training?
Well, again, I always go back to, you know, you got to follow your heart, and I completely understand the motivation and the adrenaline of staying on the storm. I did that for a number of years until 1999, which changed what I did and why I did it. So I think the motivation is to stay on the storm because that's what that's what chasers do. And I get that. I totally understand it. And I have no, I say nothing bad about any chaser that continues to follow the storm. That, you know, that's not my place. But, you know, for those that want to take that next step and be able to get some training to render aid, you know, I think it's, listen, we all have maybe that one opportunity where we're going to get to save somebody's life. And you may be that person at that time that changes that. And so I would like for everybody just to get some level of training to be able to do that in every community. And it's not just the chaser community, it's really in every community. We need to be prepared.
Yeah.
So Stan, there's an article in the Wichita Eagle by Stan Finger called "Storm Chasers Ponder: Should You Help When a Storm Hits?" And he was talking with actually a doctor, Jason Persoff, who said there's absolutely no requirement that people render aid. This is a doctor and an avid storm chaser. He says there's no law that says you have a duty to act. He goes on to say one of the most dangerous situations is a compulsion to rescue. People who aren't properly trained in search and rescue tactics can do more harm than good, resulting in still more casualties. He said a good rescue involves slowing down. He said, I like to say, don't just do something, stand there. He said, you take a survey of the situation and begin to think, how are we going to proceed? But the whole article, I think, finishes with him mentioning, if the storm isn't still going, would you stop and help? And if the answer is yes, then I believe ethically you should stop and help, even if the storm is still active as it moves on.
I think corporations should want to have their people trained. Let's say it's a power company, have them trained, but then let them know we're not telling you you have to render, but feel free if that's something you want. I think that may actually help with the legal side of things. I'm not an attorney, although I played one on TV once.
Oh,
poorly,
yeah.
By the way.
Thank you. But you know what I'm saying? Where I think everybody then has the opportunity to make that a better decision on what they can and can't do.
Well, I think part of the education that Bill and Mike are talking about, also, I think you need to look at not just educating yourself maybe on how to render first aid and do those things, but maybe educate yourself. If I am a public county employee and my job duty is to take this hauler and get this tree out of the way of the road, if I come across a scenario where I see somebody and I'm not first aid trained, but am I trained to go, what can I do? I mean, what am I in a position to do? And things like, again, in another article by Stan Finger in that Wichita Eagle, where he's talking about the same scenario of storm chasers, should they help, not chase, but what can I do? One of the things that was brought up was, hey, carry a can of spray paint so you can put addresses of destroyed houses or buildings on the driveway or street so they're better visible, by the first responders or anybody else that might be coming. Mike probably brought up the most important part, which one of our former guests, Jeff Petrowski, mentioned, which is you're one of your biggest tools if you're a storm chaser or you're one of the first people to respond and you're not trained medically, is your phone. To get on your phone and report that and where it is to the authorities so they can get there faster and get there quicker.
I think anybody can get a basic level of training. The Red Cross offers it, CPR, AED training, or whatever. If anything, CPR training, I have a family. I've wanted to know how to do it. And so even before I was storm chasing, I knew how to do CPR in case one of my kids was choking or something happened at home. It's like, but that's a very basic level, but even that could save a life when you're out there.
Yeah.
What Bill, what are some of the things you're out there as part of your program that you're trying to teach and educate?
Well, so if we're in a school, for example, we do a lot of what we call STEMS programs, science, technology, engineering, math. So we teach, kids really about weather through the process of engineering. And really the whole focus of that is really, we tell people to be a storm warrior, you got to do two things. Number one, you got to know where your safe place is. And so we talk about what that looks like in your home. And it's amazing how many kids don't know where their safe place is. And the second part of that is that you got to have a go bag. You got to be able to grab your go bag, have all the essential tools and items in there to go to your safe place, because a lot of people get hurt and injured after the storm. And so we talk about that, for example, a whistle. So if we're doing search and rescue, we hear a whistle. Where are we going to go first? We're going to go to the whistle. And so we talk about those kind of things. When it comes to CERT training that we do, or volunteer fire departments or whatever, we give them weather information. So we've done Skyward training. We've been asked to be a part of that. So we go a little deeper when we train kind of weather, the characteristics of weather. And again, it's really about this. We're not trying to create more storm chasers. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to help these people that are first responders understand what's happening in the storm. So number one, they can keep themselves safe. Again, if they become, a victim, then, they've just multiplied the problem. So we want them to learn how to keep themselves safe so they can go help other people. And so many people don't, so you take a volunteer fire department, in a small community, they send all the trucks out to the four corners of the county, and, they're sitting there and they're on the radio and they're like, hey, there's a cloud coming our way, but I have no idea what this thing's doing. Should we sound the alarms? And so, these guys are just trying to figure it out too. We just want them to have more awareness. And so, and let me just say this. So when we make that statement that nobody should die from a tornado, I know that's for a lot of people, that's a hard statement to make and to hear, but I don't know what else the goal should be. Is it 10 or 15 or is it 20? But I just believe that with the technology that we have today, with the weather education that's available today, with the apps that are out there, National Weather Service, the SPC, so on and so forth, we all have enough information to make better decisions about our day. And if we do that and have a safe place to go and are able to understand what weather's doing, we can keep our families safe. And that's really the main thing that we're trying to do in our training, is to help families stay safe.
That's cool.
Well, how many times, Bill, have we gone 12 hours across the country, and because we know there's going to be storms there, and the people who live there are like, what, is it supposed to rain today? And they have no clue. And it's like, well, we knew a week ago that we were going to be in Kansas,
Wow.
Yeah. So El Reno, Oklahoma, right? So, PDS day, we're out there, we pull up and do a restaurant, and, all these people come outside and say, why are you guys here? Is it, supposed to be stormy today? And it's like, you are right there in the target of, and people just don't know. And it's just like, that's what we're trying to do, is help people get more education and be better prepared, because, it's going to happen again.
Wow. So, well, you go ahead, Phil.
Well, I was going to say, so if I'm a chaser and I'm not, okay, I haven't gotten, say, my first aid training. Chainsaws scare the crap out of me. What are things that I can just stock in the back of my Civic, right? That are simple, that if I do come across a scenario where help is needed or aid is needed, that would be, these are items that are first, I need this, okay? A family that needs help. What might those items be?
If it's a Civic, probably not much, right?
No, no, but that's a good point, right? What are the simple little things that I can have in the back of my car?
So what a lot of people need when they've just gone through a life-changing event is they just need warmth, blankets, flashlights, maybe water, or,
Water. Yep.
Yep. Just, so, what, and I've seen this happen. I've seen chasers do this, where they've just had people come and sit inside their truck. They put blankets on them. They give them water, and they're talking to them about, the storm, the worst part of the storm's over, and just talking to them and just being there for them, really helps a lot of these families. When you got little kids that are sitting there, they're scared, and, there's still lightning going on, and it's still maybe raining, and the worst part of the storm's gone, but they don't know that. And so, we all have the opportunity to do that and just render aid with love.
Yeah. So I guess my question is for Chris, and really Bill and Mark as well, or Bill and Mike as well. So in the storm chaser community, like, what percentage would you say people that, will keep driving, or is there a lot of people like you guys? Or I'm just trying to understand, what's the makeup of the storm chaser community in terms of, chasing and stopping maybe to help people?
Yeah, I'm leaving that alone. Y'all go.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
I really don't know, but
yeah,
again, as I said before, there's no condemnation here on any of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just curious.
I really don't know. I just don't.
Okay.
Well, along with that, you guys can answer, but I will preface this with saying one of the articles that I mentioned, they talked about, hey, not everyone's going to be comfortable dealing with injured victims.
Exactly.
And the person they were talking to said at least they can keep, like Bill talked about, at least they can maybe keep drinking water or blankets in their vehicles for victims. Or as Mike mentioned, just get on the phone, right? And call it in. So that's you're one of the first ones responding, which is calling it into the people that are more trained to help it out. But Chris, what do you got?
Oh, I was just going to say, there's a lot of guys that'll keep driving. Some are very selfish for sure. I mean, that's the nature of humanity.
Yeah.
There are some that are very selfless, but stupidly selfless, if that makes sense, where they'll drive into a damage area, no training whatsoever, don't know what they're doing, and they'll just go barge in the houses trying to help people and not realizing that there's going to be someone in Texas or Oklahoma, someone's going to be busting down your door and you're going to get a shotgun.
Wow.
I mean, stuff like that. I mean, there's disaster zones. People are out of their mind after a disaster.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. For me personally, with doing the TV thing, it's changed a lot of what I do. My job doing TV is delivering information on what the storm is doing. So as soon as we are out on TV or I get other instructions, those things change. I mean, we obviously have an extreme desire to help our community as much as possible, but TV, we're delivering information. That's how we do that part for the for the time the storm's going. But the thing I would say, if you're a storm chaser and you don't have the training, go get the training that you need, search and rescue type of thing, CPR, etc. You need to know what you're doing if you're going to go barging in, because there are a lot of guys over the years who have gone into damage areas who have stepped over live wires, not knowing what they're doing, not knowing that live wires are a little active, barging into homes, not realizing what you're doing. Someone, you think you're helping, another person says, "Oh God, there's a looter coming into my home right now." I mean, so you need to have a little bit of training before you can do that stuff. Yeah. So, because especially ideally you'd have 500 storm chasers, well trained, descending into a town, knowing how to work through incident command, knowing how everything works and the system works, and it's just like this most flawless search and rescue effort ever. In reality, if every storm chaser today did that, it would be the most chaotic mess in the world. So we definitely we got some work to do there for sure.
Well, good. Well, hey, we want, if you're listening, let us know what you guys think on this subject. You can always email us at questions@stormfrontfreaks.com, or you can find us on Twitter or Facebook and tag us your thoughts so we can share that on the next show. We're going to take our final break. Rest of you can refill your drinks. When we come back, it's time to learn about some great WX resources and find out who made this episode's legendary Weather Fools. All right, gentlemen, thank you for sticking with us through our technical issue.
Guys, thank you so much. Enjoyed it for sure.
Mike and Bill, I seriously, I just want to say what you guys do is pretty awesome.
For sure.
It really is.
Did you guys have like jobs before where you're like, hey, I was an engineer, and then just cold turkey left? Or
I don't get paid to do this.
Okay.
I still have a job.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. We all do stuff to, try to support our families while we're trying to figure out, how to do this. Again, it's not any different than what you guys have done, in your careers. You're just passionate about something, and just like we tell our kids, the money will follow. Just follow your passions and go do what you're called to do. And that's what we do. We just go do it and don't worry about the money.
Well, thank you guys for doing it.
Yeah. Seriously.
Well, outstanding, guys. Both of you, I appreciate you coming on and taking the time tonight and joining us and sharing your mission and everything else. I will, as I mentioned to you last night, the audio podcast usually gets posted Sunday, but I will follow up with you probably early next week, if not Sunday or Monday, with all those links, and you can use them as you wish. But appreciate the time.
Yeah, you bet,
guys.
Hey, and I just want to tell you guys too. I appreciate what you guys do. You really are amazing, because you are educating people in your show, and you're making it fun. So it's great to be a part of it.
Oh, go on.
Thank you.
Go have a great night, Bill. See you, Mike. Take care, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks, man.
See you guys. Thanks again.
Bye-bye. All right.
Ooh, how long you been holding that in for, Mass?
Oh man, I forgot to mute. Sorry.
The smoker's cough is starting to show up, right? All right.
Chris has got missing his forehead because it's blended in the background.
Oh, I forgot to bring up. I got to bring up my. Who's got weather resources? Excuse me. Listen, you say it the way you want to say it. It's funny. I had to send. Just so you guys know, I sent William at Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. I sent him a number of clips because he's putting together some other kind of promo. and so I took a couple shows and I put some clips together. And I think that might have been one of them. Is Maz, you doing that spot for weatherproshop.com, and you said something, and I corrected you, and you're just like, listen, you said the way you want to say it.
That wasn't even accurate.
Oh, I'll tell you that's right up there with Kim's skeleton screen share.
Yes.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, so who's got weather resources?
No.
Oh no. I got like 3 main forecasting tools.
Bring out the cat.
Hold on.
I can drum up something. I'll drum up something.
That
Kim on the
silence
phone
was
quick.
golden. Okay, so Sanner's gonna find something.
I'm looking for something.
I'll just be self-serving and promote the latest Titan U course we've done.
God,
so.
I'll tell you what. One night I show up without a resource, and
you run out of stuff
fucked.
though. Like
Good
there's only so
God.
much stuff that I look at. Like
oh, jeez.
and then you start getting into some of these people's blogs, and it's like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to recommend this to someone. So.
All right, so we'll have one. I guess we can get by with one. Sanner, you're gonna save our ass.
Okay, I got you. 1 sec though. I have to sign out of my personal account on Firefox and sign into my Titans account. And I got a couple. I'll do a couple. And I'll do a couple of WX resources just to cover everybody. Okay, I got you.
There you go.
We
I
got
got you
55 minutes. You just stretch it out.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, Weather Fools. Brady,
Ooh,
you're
wait.
doing Weather Fools.
I got a
Weather
resource
Fools?
too. Have we ever done the Penn State E-Wall? Have we done that yet?
Ewok? What?
No, E-Wall.
The
E-Wall.
Penn
The Penn State E-Wall.
No, I've never.
Okay,
heard of
I've
it, so
got
I would
that.
say no.
Okay.
Sanner, just come up with one. We only need.
Okay.
one.
Okay.
I have one. Okay, mine is completely valid. This is actually a good one.
Fine. We'll call on you
Gosh.
as well.
Yeah, I actually the E-Wall's pretty cool. So
It is
Somebody
cool.
play with Brady.
Oh my god.
Comes late to the party.
Oh god, that was hilarious. All right, who's got a weather resource?
You're gonna weather. Oh.
Crickets.
Crickets.
yeah.
You should put that in there. You should add that sound.
Here's what we'll do. I always add at the end of the Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. When we finish and we have the closing segment that MJ does, I always finish with some little funny segment that we didn't show. Just that's kind of a little closing.
That sounds like the show might be good. I'll have to watch that sometime.
Yeah. Thanks.
Is that our show?
Anyway, I'll add that and I'll throw in a little cricket sound effect. Here's the Stormfront Freaks podcast. Who's got a weather resource?
Cricket.
Not nobody. All right, so I do have a weather fool, Brady.
I have a weather fool as well.
Okay,
Me.
so 2 weather fools and 2 weather resources.
I could play 2 videos really. So
No, we'll keep it simple. All right,
I'll
we don't
play
need to
one.
go crazy, and we might be going long tonight anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah. We
Okay,
yeah. We're
Santa,
going long.
I thought you were doing something. I thought Santa was doing something funky with his video again, but no.
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 Okay.
You turned your light on or off or something because it changed the color
It's
of
like
your face.
it's like your wall behind you. I didn't notice it was like it seems pure white. And I thought you were doing some kind of video effect or something.
No, I'm actually not at all. It's just it is literally pure white. I can like adjust things, but
Did you
yeah.
paint your room?
No, it's always been that way.
I don't
So
remember it being white.
I like my modern white, you know.
it's the white hat, Phil. It's the white hat. That's what's throwing it off.
Yeah, it's actually off-white for the record.
Yeah.
Here, I'll warm it up. So now it's like orange.
Yeah, see, you are doing
Whoa.
something.
Whoa. How is
He is.
Oh.
my
He
goodness.
is doing something with his video.
No, I really am not. Like, I mean,
You are too.
I turned
Yeah.
Are
saturated.
you
but-
sick? Yeah, you just had your face was like blood red. Oh my
God, he is. You thief.
god.
I mean, there.
All
I mean,
right.
now it's white.
Oh, there you go.
God, yeah, you look better that way.
You look like you're in heaven. That.
All right, so all right,
losing
everybody
people.
ready? Everybody ready?
Are we ever ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I've fiddled with
Sharing
those settings.
screen, all that stuff. All right, so Maz, you'll take us out of break, introduce WX resources. We are in episode 45. for the show notes, and then flip it over to Brady. He'll introduce Weather Fools.
Okay.
And again, episode 45 show notes, and then I'll take it, send it to MJ for listener questions, and I'll close this out.
All right.
Sweet.
All right. All right. Let's do it. Maz, I'll count you in. MJ's got his microphone muted. Oh, he's back. Go ahead.
I'm here. Yeah,
All
whatever.
right. Count him in. Go ahead. It's not
he
the
doesn't
same
like,
without you anyway.
He doesn't like the one, so let's go 3, 2.
Hey, and we're back. Welcome back. It's time now for weather resources, cool places you can find weather stuff, and it's just, and now all this stuff is brand new tonight too, so it's not from any previous episode. Sandman, you got something cool for us. What do you have?
Okay, guys, I'm actually just going to be self-serving tonight because apparently no one else wanted to share a great resource. So I'll just share the one I have been making for like the last 6 years or so.
Oh, that's not new, actually. Maz set us up by saying it's new.
No, this is new. This course in particular is new. I'll just say that.
Well,
so,
okay.
Yeah, Hitchhiker's Guide to Weather
That
Models.
counts.
We're doing a abbreviated version in the show right now in the Titan U Minute, so you probably just heard a little bit of it. But we have this one, and I have some more modeling courses coming up this next week, and a lot more to come. And yeah, we're just doing a lot of different things when it comes to, I guess, creating WX resources. So if you haven't yet done it, you should check out our YouTube channel, Tornado Titans. You won't be sorry. So there, self-serving.
So what's the link for that particular Hitchhiker's Guide to Models, or what?
Geez, that's just do a YouTube
Where do people
search
go?
Find it in the show notes. Do a YouTube search for it. Find us, subscribe to our channel. You'll find it in any of those places. You can do it. You can do it youtube.com/tornadotitans.com. Unfortunately, for some reason, Tornado Titans was taken and a bunch of others. So that's the one we ended up using for our channel name. So
All right.
So
You
Chris,
just
I'm actually-
confused the hell out of everybody.
Chris,
I know.
By giving them 5 different options to pick from.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm actually fascinated though. Like, so it's a course actually teaching people like how to use weather models, how to predict the weather from the weather models, what to read, what to look for.
This one in particular is about a kind of an overview. This is geared towards storm chasers, but it's kind of an overview, kind of here's how you should approach models, not a in and out of like what the 500 chart or something like that, but like the theoretical, like this is where models fit within your forecast. This is how you should place them. And
That's really
that
cool.
sort of thing. So, because I'm an old school kind of person, because I started chasing. This is my 17th year chasing now. So, so I just kind of have models in this place where I'm like, okay, you can come in now and we'll talk to you. But otherwise, I'm still looking at observations and stuff to start.
It's kind of creepy. You're kind of that creepy guy that invites the models.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean,
but seriously, I think it's a great idea though, like, because I think in school we were never really. I mean, we were taught what to look for in the models, but it was never specific to storm chasing and thunderstorms and stuff like that. So I think it's a really cool idea.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Brady.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
All right, Brady, you got one too?
What? Wait, what?
Don't you have?
Just kidding. No, I have one.
Resource?
No,
Okay.
I have one. All right. All right. So my weather resource, let's see. I did not go to Penn State, unfortunately. I was there for an internship one summer.
Unfortunately? You're saying unfortunately,
okay.
Mr. Ohio State?
No, okay. Wow. I'm just saying not that it's unfortunate that I didn't go there. It's just unfortunate that I wasn't there. I don't know. Whatever.
Dr. Hopgood on line 1.
That's right.
Picking apart my grammar here. All right. Let's take a look at this weather resource. Gosh. So we have this is basically a panel with a bunch of different models. You have the NSET model, you have the GFS model.
What's this called first? What you just like jumped into saying what's on whatever this page is.
The electric map wall. It comes from Penn State. It's just a really cool way to visualize a bunch of different models. So I mean, right here, basically, this is like 6-hour precip, and it's just a bunch of models in one area that you can go quickly and see these are the previous runs and everything. So it's really cool, really cool. Check it out. It's at just Google eWall Penn State weather, and it'll be the first option that comes up.
I've actually not been there.
It's really cool. I mean, there's a bunch of different things you can look at on here. So
that is
GFS
cool.
500 mobile heights, just anything model, Go check it out.
Could they make the font any smaller?
And they could.
Hey, I'm like 54 here. Okay, so
that gets a little sciencey there, but
exactly. All right. So in case you missed any of those links, you can check it out on episode 45 show notes, and we will post those for you so you can find any of the 19 things that Sandman was talking about where you can find it. All right. All right, Brady. What do you got for Weather Fools?
All right, guys. Well, I know I say this every week or every other week since we're a bi-weekly podcast, but here's so this is the Weather Fools. I know this is everyone's favorite part of the podcast. What is Weather Fools, you may ask? Weather Fools is where us as the Stormfront freaks are out on the internet looking for something funny, looking for something silly that has to do with weather, whether that be a YouTube video, whether that be someone, posted a stupid thing on Twitter, some outrageous snowmageddon forecast or anything like that. And we're bringing it to you here. So I think, Phil, you got a Weather Fool? What's your Weather Fool this week?
I do have a Weather Fool to share with you guys. This is comes direct from Twitter. This is from Matt Benz. He's at Matt Benz Weather. And he posted a tweet that said, New Year's Day tradition on the Mississippi near Red Wing, which is in Minnesota. This is a yearly tradition for the local ski club. Some even went barefoot.
Ouch.
And so what it's showing is some pictures of the ski club. I don't know if they're from Red Wing, Minnesota, or where they're from, but they are out on motorboats and water skis, and they're skiing in the ice, in the water and the river, and they're in wetsuits. And I don't care how many wetsuits they have on. That's got to be butt cold.
That's cold.
To be ice skiing in ice water, and even doing it barefoot. That's pretty crazy.
Well, so barefoot with ice is like let's throw some crushed glass out there.
They're going to break a leg. I mean, don't you think they'd break a leg on some of those ice chunks that are on the river?
Well, it's interesting because being up here in Minnesota, I've seen these clips and things of them doing it. And usually it's like wide open water because there's power plants and things like that warm up the water. And but that picture looks scary. That looks just plain scary.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I get it. I mean, they're out thrill seeking, and I get that part. So I don't necessarily want to say that they're weather fools, but wow, that's certainly not something I would be doing in that kind of weather.
They're weather questionable, that's for sure.
Yeah,
that's very true.
I mean, what happens if they fall? Like they're gonna fall on a sheet or a jagged piece of ice, and that's it. I mean, they're no more skiing.
Don't do this at home is the disclaimer on that tweet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was pretty good, Phil. I think I might have to try that next weekend, but we'll see. Just need to find a boat first. All right.
And water skis, yeah.
In water skis, and someone willing to drive the boat. Yeah. So. All right, so my Weather Fool this week, it's not really a Weather Fool. Well, it is a Weather Fool, but it's more just, this will be a heartwarming video that you can all enjoy. So this right here, this is, you may have seen this video. This is a couple years ago, I think. So you have a lady. It had snowed quite a lot, if you can see that door. I mean, the snow was up to, her hips, so it was about a foot or two. And she's there, she's calling for something.
1 or 2 feet.
3 feet. Whatever. Okay, it was probably a snowdrift. It was probably only a foot that fell, and it drifted onto the house. Okay.
Sure. Right. Okay.
So she's calling for something, right? And so she's just chilling. She's shaking something, and what?
And
boom!
Oh, there it is.
And there's the cat. The cat came right through, and it didn't even want the food.
Snowdrift.
Didn't even want the food. So
do you think the cat tried to jump over the snowdrift and just plowed straight through it, or?
I think the cat knew what it was doing. To be honest, I think the cat knew exactly.
Cats never know what the hell they're doing. What are you talking?
I don't know,
about?
man. Look. Here's another video of cats just playing in the snow.
No,
like, how can
okay.
you,
Enough of the cat video.
Turn that. Okay.
Brady, that's 2 cats in one show that you've done.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's fun.
And the other one's
one cat video is enough,
man.
So who was the weather
fool
fool there? The cat, probably, right?
Yeah. I think it was the lady too for opening the door and letting her and not going out and getting her cat. I think she was more the weather fool there. But anyway, you can find the links to all of our weather fools in our show 45 show notes or 45 show notes. There you go.
Episode
What are you
45.
drinking?
Yeah.
Episode 45.
Yeah. What are you
Yes.
drinking?
Yeah,
I don't know.
we
Okay, I
get
can
to
never
them.
get that. I don't know why I can never get that line. I could just never nail it. But
Okay. Well, we've only been doing this for 45 episodes. Okay, MJ.
That's right.
I want to thank everybody that's watching our recording and still found a way to find us. But what do we have for listener questions?
Well, first I
Or
will give a
responses.
shout out to all of those who were on the live chat today. They had lively discussion during our guests and during our discussion. So
Was
a
it
lot
like
of fun.
why you dropped them? Is that what they were talking about?
Yeah, no, it was actually very
They were
good.
all pissed off.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
Why'd you change the link on us?
Oh, they were great. So they were
Oh,
persevered and they were wonderful.
Good.
But we also got some comments from folks this past couple of weeks. Jorg Keckelman from weather.us checked in with us, said, thanks for mentioning our little at weather.us in your excellent podcast. Cheers from Switzerland. So
Oh, cool.
thank you very much.
Davos must be a Davos.
Worldwide.
John Click from North Texas checked in with us on Podbean, and you can find our all of our episodes there at Podbean, and says, hey guys, love the show, keep up the great work, you are all awesome. And then he really wanted us to
He speaks the
hear his
truth.
comment, because he also sent us one through the website that said, love the show, just found it a week ago, so having to binge listen to catch up, just what I've been looking for. Very interesting as well as educational. So thank you, John. for
John
that.
hasn't slept in like 3 days now, right?
That's right. All 44 episodes up to that
I love you guys.
And finally, our friend Warren Madden with Hurricane Hunters checked in and said, talking about the winter missions that Hurricane Hunters does, and says our winter storm missions are flown at 30,000 feet out ahead of the system, releasing 10 to 15 drop zones to hopefully improve computer models and help forecasters in their track and intensity forecasts. So thank you.
What he really meant was we're only getting paid $30K to be out here.
That's probably right. Yeah.
It's flying into a hurricane.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Hey, that about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. Thanks for listening and watching. Before I tell you about our upcoming guest, if you enjoy our show, please do us a favor. Leave us a great review on your podcast app. Don't forget to subscribe to the show by hitting your podcast app subscribe button. It works just like a magazine or newspaper subscription. It assures you get the latest show delivered right to your inbox to listen the moment it's released. We want to give a special shout and thanks to our guests, Bill Ford and Mike Prendergast, for joining us tonight. And our next episode in 2 weeks continues our season 3.0, and we will be recording on February 8th and celebrating Women in Science Day. Now, I say that, and tonight it's been a bunch of dudes.
What about Fluffy? You forgot Fluffy, Phil. Fluffy's the girl.
How do you know it's a girl?
I don't know.
The cross-dressing cat. We all know.
Don't go
But
there.
anyway, it's February 8th, and we will be celebrating Women in Science Day with the Weather Channel's Jen Carfagno. So we're looking forward to having her on.
She's awesome.
And and celebrating Women in Science Day, which is on February 11th. So that ought to be fun. If you'd like to watch the recording live, you can do it it's at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Just check out our YouTube channel by searching Stormfront Freaks, or you can go to our website, stormfrontfreaks.com. For MJ, for Maz, for Chris and Brady, I'm signaling the all clear, and we will catch you guys all next time.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Okay.
Hey, you got to admit, this is like the creepiest thing you've ever seen. It's a cat with
Pretty
glasses
close.
with a
Pretty
sombrero.
close.
I mean, my God.
I'm a little concerned for you, buddy.
I found this on like the side of the road.
And now I'm more concerned for you.
It's definitely infested with flu.
I really hope not.
Why would you pick it up off the side of the road and bring it home?
Well, it's a cat with a sombrero with glasses. When are you ever going to find something like that ever again?
There
Yeah,
is some truth to that. There is.
With bed bugs too,
come
so
on.
that's pretty nice.
No, I was very careful. Oh, I hope not. Oh my God.
Those of you, Brady and Sander, can you guys email me the links to your fools or resources that you had?
Well, already ahead of you.
Yeah.
So I don't have to find that.
Already ahead of you. All right.
Cool. All righty. All right.
All right, stopping the broadcast. Good night, all our viewers.